general Jacob's fire, and we have here multiple saviors going on to Mount Zion. Now, of course, the minimum number in a plural is 2, and so here you have 2 saviors.
Okay, I laugh, Josh, because I want everyone to see nothing in the text mentioned only 2 saviors and therefore 2 messiahs, because if there's 2, there can be 3, there can be 4. But besides the point, nothing in the text even talked about Messiah. It's talking about God saving his people, right? From who? The Edomites, correct?
Yeah, from Asaph, yeah.
I even wanted to see if Rashi interpreted the way you did. I'm not saying he's infallible, he's your Pope. And I'm trying to say, okay, Rashi, do you see 2 messiahs anywhere here? Oh, Rashi, no, there are no 2 messiahs. Now, what you're doing, Josh, you're doing what I wanted you to do, because I want people to learn that the very thing the Jews accuse Christians of, you guys are guilty of. Guys, I want you to learn from him. He's being very honest, which I appreciate. Learn from him. They will tell you, you Christians mistranslate the Hebrew. They mistranslate the Hebrew. You Christians read into these passages, Messiah, and he's not there. You just saw 2 examples of him reading his view of Messiah, son of Joseph, in passages that even the blind man can see have nothing to do with Messiah, son of Joseph. So now I'm going to ask for something explicit. Can you show me something explicit in the Tanakh that there will be a Messiah from Joseph?
There's no explicit passage. It's something which is from the tradition, which is hinted at in these chapters that I've just shown.
I'm proud of you. It's tradition, right?
Yes.
So now, just like, well, hold on. Your rabbis are quick to condemn Christians for reading 2 comings of Messiah. Nowhere in our scriptures are there 2 comings of Messiah. You Bible perverts. You just admit there's nothing explicit of at least 2 messiahs, one deputy, son of Joseph, and the other the king. It's our tradition. So you know what Jesus said, which I know you don't believe? Oh, you hypocrite. Why do you see the splinter in your brother's eye, but fail to remove the beam from your eyes? So now, going back to the point of prophecy, here's what I want to discuss, because we're talking about Messianic prophecy.
Can I just address that point?
Yes, go
ahead. I'd just like to respond to that.
Yes.
Obviously, it's the case that we have our traditions, the traditions of our sages, the rabbis, and you have your traditions, the church traditions. But it seems to me that when the usual counter-missionary rabbis are saying, are speaking in the way that you just said, they're usually talking regarding the usual missionary that you come across, which are sola scriptura Protestants who don't have traditions, and that's why this is something that is capable of being said to them, because for them all there is scripture, and they don't have a tradition that they can rely upon, because they don't believe in traditions anyway. This doesn't apply to people who claim to have traditions, because then the entire argument is going to be whose tradition is the correct tradition.
So how about if I do you one better? If I quote your own traditions confirming the Christian interpretation of the Hebrew scriptures, what would you say then? Do you understand why?
It really depends on the type of interpretation. If it's a pshat, so it's a drush, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
Well, my point was, number 1, Zechariah 12:10. Now, guys, if you understand why I went to Zechariah 12:10, the rabbis admit that's about a Messiah, son of Joseph. Now, why did I ask them to show me that Messiah, son of Joseph, from the Hebrew scriptures? There is no explicit reference to Messiah, son of Joseph. He admitted. But they're admitting Zechariah 12:10 is about a Messiah. Now, process of elimination. If you don't have a Messiah, son of Joseph, and the only Messiah you have is son of David, and you're admitting this passage is messianic, golly, that sounds like the Christians are right. See, that's what I'm doing. Well, I know you can say no, all you want. And is it ironic? The Messiah we believe in, his adoptive father is named Joseph, so that he is Messiah, son of Joseph?
That's a very petty idea.
You
It's
sure?
very, yes, absolutely. It's
You
very,
sure?
very, yeah.
You positive? If I show you, well, because you didn't bring it up yet, so I won't show you, but it's okay. But he is Messiah, son of Joseph. But before you go there, I hope you're not going to tell me. I'm itching. I don't want to make the argument for you. I just hope you're not going to tell me he's not really a son of David, because I'm going to have a field day quoting your Tanakh. Don't tell me that. Please don't go there yet. Don't go there yet.
What, that Messiah, son of David, is not a son of David? Of course, Messiah, son of David is a
No,
son.
that's not what I said. I hope you're not going to tell me that Jesus cannot be Messiah because he's not the son of David, because he has no. I just hope you don't bring it up yet. Wait, bring it later.
Look, I don't know who Jesus' father is, because no one seems to be very clear on this.
No, we know who it is. You reject the truth. My point is, one of the arguments of your counter missionary rabbis is, well, if you say he was born of Mary and no father by the Spirit, he can't be a son of David. Yeah, isn't it ironic, though? Can you at least admit to people, if my father is a Jew but my mother is a Gentile, am I Jewish?
No.
Say it one more time. I'll let you speak. I've been very generous with you, so don't think I'm being rude. Okay, I want to hear this. If my father is a Jew but my mother is a Gentile, am I Jewish?
No.
If my mother's Jewish but my father is African, am I Jewish?
Yes.
So why the hell would you deny Jesus is the son of David when you just said, if your mother's Jewish, you're Jewish, but if your father's Jewish, not your mother, not Jewish, Jesus's mother was Jewish?
I'll tell you why. Please. Because what you've confused here are two different things.
Yeah,
I'm tribal lineage and the national lineage, which is inherited. So the national lineage, i.e., whether you are a Jew at all, goes via the mother. However, tribal lineages, like for example, if you're a Levite or not, goes via the father. So, for example, if my mother is a Levite, her father is a Levite. My father is not a Levite. Therefore, I'm not a Levite because it goes after my father.
You sure? Now, number one, this distinction between tribal affiliation is determined by my father, but ethnically it's determined by my mother. Can you give me a verse that says that in your Tanakh?
Yes, hold on a second.
Please give it to me, because I'm going to show you one that just refuted you. It's okay. I have it right here on the screen.
Hold on a second.
Show me in your Tanakh. Guys, you hear what he said, right? Tribal lineage determined by the father, but your ethnicity by your mother. So if his mother is Jewish, he's Jewish, but his father is a Gentile, then he's not Jewish. So then if you're not Jewish and your mother's Jewish and she's a Kohen, that means you're not a Levite?
Correct.
Correct. I hear someone in the background. Maybe that's me, but go ahead.
Sorry?
No, go ahead. Show me the verse you want to show me.
Yes. So there's a few verses. The first verse I want to show you is in Ezra, which I'm sure you're aware of, which is the source, which is the main source within the scripture itself for the notion that the children of non-Jewish women to Jewish fathers are not Jewish. They're not obligated in the Torah. That's what we mean when we say Jews. Okay. Is in Ezra chapter. Hold on.
I know the passage where they married Canaanite women, which is forbidden by the law, which you're taking out of context. I understand it. So
hold on a second. Ezra chapter 10. Ezra chapter 10.
Yes, I know. It's because they married Canaanite women, right?
Yes. Now, if the children of those women, now of course, what they did was they had to send them out, right? In verses 2 and 3 of that chapter, and Shechaniah, the son of Yechiel of the sons of Elon, raised his voice and said to Ezra, "We have betrayed our God, and we have taken in foreign wives of the peoples of the land. But now there is hope for Israel concerning this." And verse 3 says, "And now let us make a covenant with our gods to cast out all the wives and their offspring by the counsel of Hashem, and those who hasten to perform the mitzvahs, the commandments of our God, and according to the Torah it shall be done."
Josh, I know the passage. I just said it. They were being thrown out because they violated the covenant by marrying Canaanite women, right?
Why did they throw out the kids?
Because they violated the covenant, and as punishment, the children you sired with these women, knowing you deliberately sinned, they will be cut off, and this is the punishment. I understand. I know where
But
you're going.
that doesn't. I'm sorry, that doesn't really make sense because
Okay, well, I'm going to bury you. Hold on,
because,
Josh. I'll let you preach. Obed's mother, what nationality was she?
sorry,
Obed's mother, the father of Jesse, what nationality was Ruth?
Ruth was a convert from Moab.
But she was what?
She was a Moabite converted.
Oh, but wait, Moabites and Ammonites, they're Gentile women, right?
Yes.
Okay. And
She
Obed,
converted.
the son of Obed, conversion doesn't change your ethnicity. Don't go there. Don't now qualify that. She was a Moabite.
You brought up ethnicity.
Can I make my points? I didn't cut you off. Now you're cutting me off. Now you're scared. So let me now show you why you're butchering your own scriptures in front of me. In Ruth, she was a Moabitess. She married Boaz, and from her comes David. She's a Moabitess. How come God didn't cut her off? And don't tell me the conversion, because these women could have converted too in Ezra and their children and worshiped the God of Israel. Why was she then the mother of your ancestor, David the king? She's a Moabitess. That means that should have disqualified Ovid and Jesse and David. Damn, Gina.
It's really quite simple.
Make it simple.
Ruth converted, therefore her son was a Jew, whereas the wives of these men in Ezra did not convert, and therefore their children were not Jews, and that's why they were kicked out.
You didn't hear my response.
I did hear what you said. You're saying
why didn't he give them the option? See, here we go again. Why then didn't Ezra give them the option? Let your women and children convert and worship God. You think they'd say no?
What? No. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about? That's what I want to say to you.
The children have already been born. The children have already been born, Sam.
No, it doesn't matter. So you mean, wait, Egyptian children who were born to Egyptians, when they left Egypt to follow Israel and become part of the covenant, well, they're already born. They're Egyptians. Too late. What are you talking about, dude?
It's totally different. At the revelation at Sinai, everyone became a convert. So it's totally different.
That's my point. Why couldn't that option have been extended to those Canaanites? Those Canaanites, right there, those Canaanites, hey, convert and we won't have to get rid of you. Why wasn't that option given to them?
Because they're not considered the children of those people, because they are the children of they're not.
Yeah,
they're not considered the children of the Jewish men.
What about Rahab?
Sorry?
Rahab. What about Rahab?
She also converted.
So that's, you're making my case. You're not listening, dude. I wonder if I'm talking to one of my friends, Jimmy. You just made my case. Rahab, the harlot, and her household, they were Canaanites.
Yeah.
So why then not give these Canaanites in Ezra the option? Hey, you Canaanites, your children, will you worship the God of Israel? Yes. All right, we don't have to get rid of you. Why were they not given that option if what you're saying is true? If they convert, then that's okay. So you make no sense.
No, you're missing my point entirely. My point isn't that if you convert, then it's fine. I'm saying is that if a woman converts and then subsequently has a child, that child is a Jew and is therefore obligated to keep Torah mitzvahs.
Do I need to repeat my response?
So can I finish?
Yeah, you're repeating the same thing you did last time.
No, because you don't seem to have understood what I said.
No, I didn't understand. Okay.
No.
Okay, go. Let's finish, because I'm gonna. In fact, repeat what my answer was. Let's see if you understand. Repeat my answer.
Your answer was that if they just gave the option to these Canaanite women and children to convert, then it's all fine, and they can stay. Now, granted, of course, they could stay if they convert, but that's not the point. The point is,
they could stay if they convert. Now you change your argument. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
That's not the point. If they convert, the children are still not the children of those men according to Jewish law.
Why?
Why? Because they're considered to be the children of the women, but not of the men. Because when the women gave birth to them, they were not yet Jewish.
Okay, now let me repeat my response, which you didn't hear. Okay. Rahab and her household, you just said because they converted.
No, she
So
converted.
there were children. Hold on, let me finish the point, friend. I let you finish so you don't say I'm cutting you off. So when Rahab and her household converted, and there were children in that household already born, you're telling me now, even though the children are already born and they converted, so that means they're not now converted Jews, according to your logic?
If the kids have converted, then they are Jews. If they've not converted and they were born non-Jews, then they remain non-Jews.
Okay, let one more time. Rahab's household already alive. Her whole household was spared.
Yes.
Okay, hypothetically, because I'm going to give you another example. Hypothetically, those household members, they are Canaanites.
Yes.
But when Rahab gave protection to the spies, they were saved entirely, her whole household. Yes. Are you telling me if there were children already born Canaanites, listen to my argument, but after that act that Rahab converted, the children still are not converted Jews because it's too late for them because they're born Canaanites?
Are you talking about children that were born to Rahab before or after?
I just said that. The household, who did God save Rahab and her household?
Yes.
Okay, so the household already existed, right? They're already Canaanites, right?
Yes, but it doesn't say over there that it's talking about her own children. It doesn't mention.
You didn't answer my hypothetical. So according to you, I want everyone to hear this. So now Rahab, her household had 7 children, let's say. Just let's say, I'm arguing hypothetically.
Why not hypothetical?
Yeah, Joshua, you know you lost this argument badly.
I haven't lost this argument.
So I want to hear your answer. When that household, if they had children there, because we assume they're children, but I'm going to go for you. She had no children. She was a prostitute, so prostitutes don't have children. And so her brothers had no children. In fact, can you prove that she had brothers in the household?
Well, it says that.
It says household, right?
Hold on, let me just get up the verse. Hold on.
Joshua 2, yeah, okay. So as you get the verse, and let me repeat the question, as you get the verse. So according to you, as you get the verse, if that household had children already born Canaanites, even though Rahab and her household converted, her children still would not be considered converts. They're still Canaanites, and they'd have to be driven away, so she had to throw them out of her house?
I don't understand the question.
Okay. I don't know if I should even repeat it because I think we got the answer. Okay, so all right.
In Joshua chapter 2, verse 3, it says that you will spare the lives of my father and mother, my brothers and sisters, and all who belong to them.
All belong to them. So all belong to them is what? No children.
Yeah, that includes their children. It doesn't say that she had children. And
okay, I didn't say she had children.
I said she converted.
The whole household was saved.
Yes, that doesn't mean they converted. She converted.
Why were they saved and not driven out when they're Canaanites, when you're supposed to drive out the Canaanites, genius?
Because that was the deal she made with them.
And God accepted them, right?
Yes.
Thank you for refuting yourself. But sorry.
I didn't refute me at all.
Okay,
in Ezra, the people had sinned. They had married people who were not Jewish, and then they had children. Those children were not born Jewish. Therefore, they were not obligated to keep the Torah.
Joshua, you heard it the first 5 times.
No, because you haven't paid attention to my argument at all.
Okay, buddy. Okay, I haven't. You're right. But now you're right. Okay, well, I'll let the people decide because we're going to be here for 5 hours. But here, I want to read something else for you, buddy. Ready?
You're going to You're going to 1 Chronicles 2, right?
Can you explain to me how did an Egyptian sire a child to continue the lineage, the tribal line? This is not about him being Jewish. It's the tribal line. It's talking about the genealogy. Could you explain that to me so everyone can see what I'm talking about? Because it's tribe. We're not talking about just being ethnically Jewish or converting to Judaism. It's about the tribe, the entire chapter, just in case we miss it. These are the sons of Israel, right? Sons of Judah, right? So this is all tribal, guys. I'm going to hold them out accountable. Tamar's daughter-in-law bore him Perez and Zerah. All the sons of Judah were 5. Sons of Conami, sons of Ethan, sons of Hezron. And then it talks about Ram begot Aminadab. Aminadab begot Nashon, prince of children of Judah. Nashon begot Salma. Salma begot Boaz. Boaz begot Obed. Obed begot Ishai. And we've gone up because this is going to bring it to the line of David. Boaz begot Obed. Obed begot Ishai. And Ishai begot his firstborn Eliab and Abinadab, second. Nathaniel. David the 7th. And their sisters, Zuriah, Abigail, the sons of Zuriah, Abshai, Joab, Asil. 3, Abigail bore Amasa, father Masa was Jethro the Ishmaelite, Caleb, Azubah. So you guys see this is the line of Judah, tribal. So I don't want to say it's not. So it is, just to save time, here we go. This is Judah, by the way, tribal. Let's go here. Sheshan had no sons but daughters. Sheshan had an Egyptian slave. And to talk about irony, it's not even an Israelite who's going to marry his daughter. Sheshan had an Egyptian slave named Jarha. Sheshan gave his daughter to Jarha. And what was Jarha, guys? Notice, Egyptian. For a wife, she bore him Attai. And lo and behold, who continues the line? The tribal line, not ethnic, tribal line of Sheshan. Attai, the son of the Egyptian slave. Wow. Now explain this away. Go ahead.
Assuming tribal.
Go ahead. Explain this away. We want to hear it.
So it's quite simple, really. Chronicles is not telling you that these people are of the tribe of Judah. It's saying that these are descendants of Judah. It doesn't mean they're of the tribe of Judah. And how do I know this? Because in 1 Chronicles chapter 1, we start from well before the tribes. So Chronicles is not telling us
what is Sheshan's tribe?
Are of the tribe of Judah.
What is Sheshan's tribe?
Sheshan's tribe, because his father is Jonathan, is of the tribe of Judah.
Okay, so what is Attai's tribe?
He doesn't have a tribe.
So how's he continuing the line for Sheshan then? Because it's continuing the line of Sheshan. Continue reading. So what are their tribes?
It doesn't.
So now, all of a sudden, let's follow your logic. I want everyone to hear it. Sheshan now ends his tribal affiliation with Judah, and Attai, out of nowhere, now continues an Egyptian line to interrupt the tribal line of Judah. That's what you want us to believe.
No, it's not an Egyptian line, and it's also not a Judah line.
So why is it mentioned?
Why is it mentioned?
The whole context is about the tribes from chapter 1 of Chronicles all the way. It's talking about the tribes and the clans and their divisions. According to what we just heard you say, Attai is not now creating a new line, an Egyptian line, nor is he continuing the tribal line of Sheshan. So what happened to Sheshan's line? It died?
Yes, this is no longer Sheshan's line.
Oh, excellent. So why then is Attai's line mentioned if he's not from the tribe of Judah?
But it doesn't have to be from the tribe of Judah to be mentioned.
Why is it mentioned in the book where it's all about tribes?
This was an important part of the genealogical records that they had. That's why it's included.
Okay, all right, buddy. Okay,
that's how Chronicles works.
All right. Okay, that's fine. We get the
Chronicles. Can you show me proof that that Attai was from the tribe of Judah?
Yeah, because you just admit Sheshan is. So why is it mentioning Sheshan had no sons and daughters and saying that Attai, the son of his daughter, and then mentions his lineage, if it's not trying to say that here we have a case where someone's tribal line is continued through his daughter, his grandson. But according to you, no, that just popped out of nowhere. So then why mention Sheshan?
It doesn't mention that Attai is from the tribe of Judah. All it says is the story that that what Sheshan has done is in order that he has descendants.
Okay, let's go from the context. I want to see. Okay, all right. Okay, so guys, we're going to start the context of Sheshan to see what line he represents. Okay, let's go here because he's saying it doesn't, right? Okay. And after the death of Hezron and Caleb, Ephrathah and the wife of Hezron was Abijah, and she bore him Ashur, the father of Tekoa. Let's just read. I'm just going to read all the way through and let people decide.
Yeah.
Okay. And the sons of Jaramiel, the firstborn of Hezron, were, the firstborn was Ram, Bunah, Oren, Ozem, and Ahijah. Now Jerahmeel had another wife whose name was Atara. She was the mother of Onam. And the sons of Ram, the firstborn of Jerahmeel, Maaz, and Jamin, and Ikir. And the sons of Onam were Shammai and Jaddah. And the sons of Shammai, Nadab, Abishur. Now the name of the wife of Abishur was Abihail, and she bore him Ahman and Mulid. Sons of Nadab were Seled, Appaim, and Seled died without children. Sons of Appaim, Ishi. Sons of Ishi, Shishan. Sons of Shishan, Ahlai. And the sons of Jada, the brother of Shammai, Jether and Jonathan, and Jether died without children. Sons of Jonathan, Peleth and Zaza. These were the sons of Jerahmeel. Shishan had no sons but daughters. Shishan had an Egyptian slave named Jarha, and Shishan gave his daughter to Jarha, his slave, for a wife, and she bore him Attai. Attai begot Nathan. Nathan begot Zabad. Zabad begot Aflal. Aflal begot Obed. And Obed begot Jehu. Jehu begot Azariah. Azariah begot Heliz. Heliz begot Elasa. Elasa begot Simsai. Simsai begot Shalom. Shalom begot Jechemiah. Jechemiah begot Elishama. Just before I finish the list, just so everyone understands, he's saying from Attai onwards, these are no longer Judahites. They're not from the tribe of Judah. It's over. Correct. See? Correct. Let's see now. And the sons of Caleb, the brother of Jerahmeel, Misha, his firstborn, who was the father of Ziph, inhabitants of Marishah, the father of Hebron, sons of Hebron, Korah, Tapua, Rakim, Shema. Shema begot Raham, father of Jorkim. Rakim begot Shammai. Shammai's son was Ma'on. Ma'on was the father of Beth Zur. And Iphah, the concubine of Caleb, bore Haran and Moza and Gaziz, and Haram begot Gaziz. Sorry, guys, to bore you with the names, because I want you to see the entire chapter is about tribal lineage. But she says it's not, because Attai now has nothing to do with this. Sons of Jehdai, Rejim, Jotham, Gishan, Pelet, Ephah, Shaph. From Caleb's concubine Makkah, he begot Sheber, Turhana. She bore Shaph, the father of Madmana, Shiva, the father of Machbina, the father of Gibeah. Caleb's daughter was Achsa. These were the sons of Caleb, the son of Hur, the firstborn of Ephrathah. Shobal, the father Kirjath Jerim. Salma, the father Bethlehem. Haraph, the father Beth Gadar. And Shobal, the father Kirjath Jerim, who ruled over half the Manuhoth, and sons and families of Kirjath Jerim, the Jithrites, the Puthites, Shumathites, the Mishrathites. And these came the Zorathites and the Eshtolites, sons of Salma, Bethlehem, Netophathites, Atroth Beth Joab, and half the Menathites. Ooh, these names. And the Zorahites, families of scholars who dwelt with Jabez, Terathites, Shemathites, Sukkathites. They are the Kenites, who were descended from Hamath, the father house of Rechab. All right, so this here, what was this chapter all about that I just tortured myself? Sons of Israel, Reuben, Simon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Dan, Joseph, Benjamin, Naphtali, Gad, Asher. So it's talking about the tribes and their descendants and clans. This is all it is. And then if I go to the next chapter, we're not going to read it. So let's see what the next chapter is. All right, let's go right here. Let me go to chapter 3. Because I want you to see what he just said. Attai was mentioned for no good reason other than to show Shishan's line ended. So he's not continuing an Egyptian line or the line of Judah. It ended. So then we go here. And these were the sons of David. And boom, next chapter continues with David. But remember, according to him, Attai is what we call, what's the term I'm looking for? An anomaly in the system. Attai doesn't continue Shishan's line to preserve his lineage, that he has tribal lineage. He's from the clans of Judah. No, it ends because Attai is now no longer representing any lineage. He just is mentioned out of nowhere and his descendants for no good reason. Yeah,
there is a reason though, and I'll tell you the reason. And it's given to us in the tradition. And Rashi explains. He says in verse 35, and Sheshan gave his daughter to Yaucha, his slave, for a wife. From here they derived that if your daughter has matured, free your slave and give him to her. And from here, the sages derived in the Talmud Yerushalmi, Tractate Tivamos, do not trust a convert until 15 generations, and 15 generations are from Ittai, the Egyptian, until Ishmael, and some say 16 generations, including Yaucha. The Medrash states the following: is it possible that he was of the royal descent, as in Jeremiah 41:1? Now, was not Yishmael of the seed of Yerachmiel, and not from Ram? Well, that means that he passed his seed to the Molech. So what we see here is that there is a reason given, is that there is a reason for listing these. It's to tell us about this 15 generations rule, right? It's not to tell us about tribal lineage. It's to tell us something else. So you can say, well, I think that it should only be about tribal lineage, and maybe you're right. Maybe that's what the Christian tradition says.
Well, let me go with this.
Our tradition says about this verse.
Okay, well, let me go with this. Let me ask you something. The principle to be taught here, I'm going to read what he just said, because I have it here. Okay. From here, they derive that if your daughters is matured, free your slaves and give them to her. So you're supposed to learn from the passage. And then the sages inferred something else. But let's see. That your daughter can marry your slave on the grounds you free your slave, right?
Yes.
So now the Egyptian slave, okay, Jadha. Okay. Now I'm going to turn it against you. He was a convert, right?
So the way it works with slaves is with non-Jewish slaves is that as soon as they've been freed, they're Jews.
So he's a Jew, right?
Yeah, he's now a Jew because he's been freed.
So you buried yourself because Attai is a Jew.
Yes.
And therefore, he continues the line for his father, not only ethnically, but also tribally. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
When I say Jew, I don't mean the tribe of Judah. Obviously not.
No, I didn't say Jew. I said you just established because Jadai is now part of the Commonwealth of Israel because the Bible, your Torah says the same law for the native born and the alien. So if Jadai is now religiously considered an Israelite,
yes,
that means Attai is not only religiously an Israelite, but he's actually a Judahite from his grandfather. So that means we learn now. Attai continues the line according to your own logic.
False. Bye-bye. False.
Buddy, can you give it up, dude? Give it up.
He doesn't. No, false. He doesn't continue the line of his mother's father. This is now a new line from his father, Yaucha.
What line? So now Jadha is part of the tribal.
Line is a new line in itself because now he's the first Jew.
Blue line for what? But okay, I'm going with you. Line for what? So what is he affiliated with? What line for whom?
No, converts don't get a tribe, and neither do their children. You don't have a tribe.
Yeah, I know. But I'm glad you're saying this because it's recorded now. So now watch what the rabbis. Okay, take it easy, man. Why are you getting upset? Yeah, no, it's not true. That's your perversion of the scripture.
Okay, that is Judaism's understanding of how this works. It's clear in the Talmud that when it comes to tribal lineages, converts are not included in that.
Okay, hold on. Let me read this.
One of the 12 tribes.
Can I read this for you, buddy? I want to reread what you read to me. Take it easy, man. Okay, so now let's see what the sages derived. It says what you're supposed to take from now. Look how much they see into these passages, and we're the ones perverting the Hebrew scriptures. Look what they got from this. What do you learn from this? You learn from this. Do not trust the proselyte until 15 generations. And 15 generations are from Ittai, the Egyptian, until Ishmael. So this is what they got from this. Now, I will give $1 million to anyone who's not affected by rabbinic tradition. Read that chapter and tell me this is what you got from reading this. You guys heard me read it. I'll give you guys $1 million. Did any of you got this from reading this? What the rabbis magically see? Because I get they have these glasses that they see things that the rest of the goyim who don't see. I'll give you $1 million. You show me from this passage, this principle here that they made up conveniently. Where do you get that? You don't trust the proselyte till the 15th. Guys, I'll give anyone want to take me on this? I'll give him $1 million, and I'll give his synagogue $1 million, and give you $1 million. This principle you got from just reading this lineage right here. And right here. And by the way, even the passage that they quoted refutes you, because the reason why, let's go, I'm reading what you quote in front of my eyes. Okay, until Ishmael, and some say 16 generations, including Jadha. Okay, the Mishnah states the following: is it possible that he was of royal descent? Now, was not Ishmael of the seed of Jeremiah and not from Ram? Rather, it means that he passed his seed to Molech. That's why he's disqualified. Why is he disqualified? The very text you quoted to me,
He passed
why
his
is
seed
he
to
disqualified?
Molech. He passed his seed
Because
to
he
Molech.
sacrificed to, who's Molech?
Molech is an idol.
That's why he was cut off from having any connection with royal descent. Even your own sources says it right here. That's why he's not counted.
Who? Ittai.
Well, brother, right here, it says, right here, the Midrash states the following: is it possibly his real royal descent? Okay, who? It's talking about Ishmael. Ishmael. Is it possible that he was a royal descent? Now, why was he cut off? Because of your argument? Well, no, because in my mother's side, but no, was not Ishmael the seed of Jeremiah and not from Ram? But rather it means that he passed the seed to Melech. That's why he's disqualified, because he sacrificed to a foreign god. So even what you quoted didn't make your case. Even what you just put before my eyes did not confirm anything you told me, man. I'm reading your own source, and I'm looking at it. You're not only your rabbis reading into the passages, things that are not there, coming up with magical explanations with the wave of the hand, say, hey, look, oh, focus here. But even what you quote, you're misreading it to me. It says the reason why he's not considered royal descent is because he committed idolatry. He sacrificed to Molech, and you and I know very well that means he sacrificed children to Molech. That's why he's disqualified. Now, can you show me where Attai sacrificed to Molech to disqualify him?
No.
So thank you for quoting a source that backfired against you. Now, can we put that aside? Because this is not the point I wanted to go into, because you've helped me make my case. What I wanted to show you is the very passages we consider messianic, your rabbis did. I'm not saying it means Jesus. You do?
Of course, I said this right at the beginning.
Okay, hold on. No, so you mean you like this one here? This is because that it'll make me happy if you admit this. I'm glad you do, but here. Okay. Because if you have time, let me know when you got to go, because I wanted to talk about Rashi's timeline of Daniel. But here, you agree.
The next time.
Okay, how much time do you have now?
It's 7:41 now.
If you want to end it now, it's up to you.
I've got 20 minutes maximum.
Okay, all right. Let me just go through some of these. See, because I just want to, and we'll talk about Daniel's timeline another time if you want to. You got my Skype. Okay, so you agree then, Micah 5:1, Bethlehem, the ruler, according to Messiah, son of David, right?
Yeah.
But then he also says, Psalm 118:22 is about Messiah. The stone the builders had rejected became a cornerstone. See it?
Yeah, it's a drush.
It's what?
It's a drush, i.e., it's an eisegesis. It's saying that this verse can be applied to the Messiah. Yeah, doesn't mean that it is in simple read, right? What we call pshat. In simple read, nothing to do with the Messiah. But in drush, which is what Rashi is doing here, you can apply it to the Messiah.
Okay, all right. I'm glad you explained it. But so you agree though that Micah 5, the ruler will come out of Bethlehem, and that he is the stone the builders had rejected became a cornerstone. How was the Messiah rejected?
Because Bethlehem is something that had been rejected.
But it says he is the one that's rejected, and Psalm 118 doesn't talk about Bethlehem.
It doesn't talk about the Messiah either. This, as I said, is an eisegesis. It's a drush, right? What? You're shaking your head.
When you finish, I don't want to cut you off, because it's killing me that I have to keep. But go ahead, finish your point. So,
when it says that the stone the builders has rejected became a cornerstone, so what I'm getting from this, at least, is that you would never have thought that something good could have come out of Bethlehem, i.e., the stone is the place, i.e., the whole thing of the Messiah son of David, coming from Bethlehem, you would never have expected that to become the cornerstone.
So what's becoming the cornerstone?
Because of his lineage coming from Bethlehem, you would never have thought that this stone could become the cornerstone.
But you understand why that's not going to make sense, right? I'm going to explain to you. This is why I said I'm laughing. Why would they be shocked the Messiah would come to Bethlehem rejected when David is a Bethlehemite and they accepted him as king? What are you talking about, Josh? Josh, what are you talking about? That's why I laughed. I'm letting you finish. See, guys, I'm doing this as a lesson because if people say, Sam, you're mean, that's why people don't talk to you. My brother in humanity, son of Adam, by the time this prophecy was made, David had arisen. He was the king of Judah, and he's a Bethlehemite, so no one would reject Bethlehem anymore. So that's why I let you just keep talking and talking.
Verse 1, sorry, I interrupted you.
Go ahead, yeah. Verse 1, yes.
In verse 1, it says that Bethlehem is least among the clans of Judah.
Of course, we know it says that. But my point is that for this to mean that they're shocked, the ruler came out of Bethlehem, why the hell weren't they then shocked when David was appointed king, when he came out of Bethlehem?
They were.
Okay, one more time, my friend. Let's go with what you just said. They were. Once David was established and his sons were established, would anyone now have a problem that God brought a king out of Bethlehem because now David's established and they accepted him?
Afterwards, no.
Good.
Right, I hear what you're right.
Okay. Now let's go back.
I think that this is coming from the prior perspective, and the reason I think that is because it's still calling in this verse, which is clearly about the Messiah. It's still calling Bethlehem the least of the clans, even though this is well after David's.
Yes.
Gone.
And that's why it's saying, out of this place, look at God has honored it. David came from it, and this ruler is going to come from it. So that which was least has now become great because let's finish it. Okay, so, and you, Bethlehem, you should have been the lowest. You should have. But look how God has honored you. Not only did David come from you and his line, the kingly line established through David, but this one will come also. But his origin is from old, from days of yore. I'll get to that maybe in part 3 because your time is running out. But what I want to show is Psalm 118, you say it's not messianic, but I'm going to show you why they said it's messianic. I'll get there, brother. But I just want, for the sake, I understand your point. If we follow your logic that Bethlehem was rejected, are you saying Bethlehem is the stone or the king is the stone?
I think they are basically kind of one and the same. I.e., the Messiah being this important guy from the main family of Bethlehem, which was the family of Boaz through Obed through Yishai. So they kind of represent Bethlehem. So it's kind of one and the same.
Now I'm going to show you why I told you when you said, well, it doesn't say Messiah either, but why did they think it's messianic? And has nothing to do with Bethlehem. So now in this context, we're going to just stay with this context. Let's read. The stone that the builders rejected became a cornerstone. This was wise from the Lord. It is wondrous in our eyes. This is the day that the Lord made. We shall exult, rejoice thereon. Please, O Lord, save now. Please, O Lord, make prosperous now. Blessed be he who comes in the name of the Lord. We have blessed you from the house of the Lord. This is why they took it as messianic. The one who will come in the name of the Lord. So if I just read this in the context, it has nothing to do with Bethlehem being the stone that's rejected. Nothing. It has to do with the one that they're expecting to come. Why was he rejected?
I'd like to know why you think that it's verse 26. That is the reason for the eisegesis that Rashi has done. I'd like to know that because that doesn't. It seems to be quite a leap from my perspective. I'm not sure what you mean.
I'm trying to see where to begin so I can show you that the reason why this was taken as messianic, because when they are praying, they're blessing the one who comes in the name of the Lord, because this has connections to other Psalms that are considered about the king, like Psalm 72. That's why Rashi connected it with Psalm 72, you see? See, and this is why it's time. I have to make these connections for you. But so now, do you accept it now? Do I have to prove it?
that verse 18 is the reason?
That
Sorry, no, sorry.
22 to 26, they saw the connection between the stone. Say it again.
Sorry, I meant verse 26. I got the.
Yeah, you know why? Because here, I'll show you why here. Here, because see, it's right here, buddy. That's why Rashi connected Psalm 72. May his name be forever. Before the Son, his name will be magnified. And people will bless themselves with him. All nations will praise him. That's why, friend. Do I really need to spell it out, man?
Right, that's fine.
Okay, so we got it. Why Psalm 118:26 is connected with Psalm 118:20, which is then interpreted as Messiah, because Rashi is seeing and Rabbi is saying, oh, we have similar themes about the king in other Psalms. Did I make my case now?
Sure.
Okay, so now let's go back. See, and let me know when your time is up. Psalm 118:22, the stone that the builders rejected became a cornerstone. So how do I know this is referring to Messiah? Because here it says, blessed be he who has come in the name of the Lord. We have blessed you from the house of the Lord. And that connects with other themes about the king, Psalm 72, which is also interpreted messianically. So now what I want to ask you, what did the king do that led to your people rejecting him and then later realizing their mistake? Why was he rejected?
Again, I think this is. Again, I don't see how this goes against what I was saying before about the Messiah being a representative of Bethlehem. I don't see how that goes against it at all.
All right. Well, what we'll do is, because time's running out, God willing, part 3. I want to talk about Daniel's timeline and Messiah's appearance according to Rashi. You let me know when you want to do it, friend. You got
Sure.
my Skype, all right?
Yeah. There is something else that I'd like to talk about in the next time.
Or what is it?
Which is the difference between, which is going. Actually, yeah, the timeline is pretty good discussion to have.
That will show whether Jesus is Messiah or not. That's the whole point.
I mean, yeah, that really should have been today's thing.
Well, I had to first show you that the prophecies I'm going to appeal to, why do you think I'm doing this? Are prophecies that even the rabbis admit are about Messiah, and then I'm going to have to make the case that's Jesus. Why do you think I did this? I'm trying to show you.
I told you that at the beginning, man. I told you that an hour ago. I told you that.
So you admit it. So when I go and quote, hey, well, this prophecy, we believe Jesus fulfilled. No, it's not a Messiah. We're not going to do that, right?
No, I'm not going to say.
Okay, good.
I told you at the beginning that the way I look at exclusive passages versus inclusive passages.
But do you admit that Rabbinic Judaism also affirms the preexistence of Messiah? That he's actually he's alive. He was with God from the days of creation.
That the idea of the Messiah was created.
No, he himself. No, he himself has been with God from the days of creation. Pasikta Rabati.
I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that.
All right. Well, I can give you the article.
That's probably a good place to leave it for next time.
Okay. Let me know next time. We'll talk. I'm going to show you from the Pasikta Rabati, interpreting Psalm 22, which we take about Messiah being there from the days of creation with God under the throne. Pasikta Rabati. We'll talk about it in part 3. God willing, let me know when.
All right then.
All right.
Yeah, we'll speak.
You contact me. I'm free anytime this week. You let me know. God willing.
Okay, I'm not free for the rest of this week. I've got a wedding tomorrow and whatnot.
Sunday, you told me Sunday. Let me know. Why Saturday?
Sunday, yeah, Sunday should be
after,
good.
Sunday. Let me know Sunday. We'll set it up.
All right then.
All right, buddy.